fault lines, right? There are problems that exist in your life, right? That you didn't even realize that were actually there, right? You just, all you know is, when I go to attempt to do this right here, right? I really feel led to do this. I really don't even have a good explanation of why I feel led to do some of the things that I'm doing. But it seems to be when I go to put my best foot forward, right? There's a problem that occurs, or there's a problem that arises, right? And I find myself actually failing, right? I find myself actually failing, right? And it's when I fail, right? I feel so ashamed, right? And I feel so bad about failing, right? Not being able to meet the standard or meet the requirement, right? Or being able to surpass this particular place, right? Because when I look at myself, I know that I'm capable. I know that I'm able to actually do the thing that is before me, but somehow something inside of me always tends to, get me stuck at this particular place right here, right? Do you know somebody, can you believe, well, God has put something down in your spirit or put something down in your heart that he's trying to get you to do for the sake of the kingdom, right? The kingdom needs what God has placed on the inside of you, right? And if you're like me, there are times where you struggle with being lethargic, right? Or there are times where you struggle with being lazy, right? Or there are times you feel like, oh God, I'm inadequate for this particular test that you've given me, God. Why would you give this to me, God? I don't even know how to accomplish this thing that you're talking about. Well, it's really a fault line that God is trying to actually get you to actually deal with, right? And so what we understand, right, this problem that may not be obvious, right? It may not be obvious because, see, somebody in your bloodline was lazy. Somebody in your bloodline, they dealt with lethargy, right? Somebody in your bloodline, they dealt with giving up and throwing in the towel early, right? They felt like they were inadequate, right? They dealt with their self-esteem issues and self-worth issues, right? And the enemy told them, right, how they were never going to amount to anything and accomplish anything, right? They're going to always abide at this place right here. God has put it in your heart that he wants to use you to break poverty off the family, all of these different things, right? But when you look back into your bloodline, you don't see nobody that had financial education who handled money well, right? Who did it God's way, right? As soon as they got money, the first thing they're trying to do is go buy a whole new wardrobe, go buy new body parts, and buy some 17, 18, 24-inch rims, right? Which is still a low throne in Jesus' wonderful name, right? You got to understand, right? And if not that, then you everybody trying to get grills in their mouth, right? All of these different things, but God is trying to say, listen, with you, I'm trying to, repair a breach, right? I'm trying to close this door to poverty. I want you to understand how money works and understand the purpose of money and how to use money in relation to the kingdom of God. You understand what I'm saying? So he's trying to raise you up to actually be a repairer of a breach in your